Let's talk about blogging today and what the power of it is.
Okay.
People cringe when they hear blogging. They get all like, "Oh, I don't know that I want to write it." But there's so many tools out there that can help you write this that it's really just a matter of organizing your thoughts. But the biggest thing is to use blogs in your social media to drive people to your site to download your app. You can also, depending upon how you have your app set up, you can have your blogs in the app as well and have it pull over so that people can read that. But where you start on this is to actually blog about the features in your app and why they're important.
Okay.
And why you have them and what are you doing with them. So depending upon what you've got going on. Now again, people cringe at blogging, but really you should be blogging at least once a month, but I would do it even more than that.
Okay.
For quite a while we were blogging at least once a week.
Okay.
Now we've gotten to a point where we've kind of backed off a little, and it's time to get back in track. So this is the teacher taking her own lesson on this, without a doubt. But I actually am going to share my screen here real quick and see if I can show this so that people can see it. This is the blogging worksheet that I did, and it's a little hard to see right now, but this is the blogging worksheet. And it's 4 simple questions. My favorite topics I always share are, and you think of your business and you list them. What I should or want to be sharing, and then you list those. And then my business frequently asked questions, list those. My business seldomly asked questions, and you list those. And then my ideal customer wants to know more about. And right there, if you do just 8 for each, you've got 32 topics to write on, almost a whole year in a glance. Very, very simple to do. And then right here, what your ideal customer wants to know. Now, ideally, most of these are solved with your app. Ideally, that's where you want to be. So really narrowing down, and blogs don't have to be lengthy. The average person reads, I want to say, somewhere around 150 to 200 words a minute. The average person reads. Well, maybe it's more like 100 to 150 words a minute, depending upon your reader. And if you write a 500-word blog, the reader will read it in 2 to 3 minutes. And that's a good amount of time. Now, yes, there's sometimes where you want to be real lengthy, but to really get down deep into the blogging, you want to be able to get your reader to get the information and go from there. And you can always refer on your app. You can always have it on your landing page, items within the blog, link back to the app page. Make sure that you're powering this so that the links in the page, in your blog, go back to telling people to invite them to download. The power of a blog is to have what they call a call to action. And the action is to get people to download your app. That's the action. And feel free to do it over and over and over again. I mean, that's not a problem. And on my blog, my call to action is schedule a time with me. And that's actually at the bottom of my website, at the bottom of my blog page. So when somebody finishes a blog, it like goes right in the footer, do this. And so I have it automated. And it's really, really important. But the other thing that's important on blogging is to get your keywords in there so your SEO goes up. So you don't want to repeat over and over like for you, Stacy, survive, society. No, that's not good. You don't want to do that.
You want like adulting, young adults, kind of like all different kind of trigger.
Exactly.
Keywords.
Exactly. And so you really have to stop and think, what are my ideal customers putting in Google? What are they questioning? What are the questions that they want answered? Like in my case, it could be making money with your app, how to make money with an app, those kind of things might be, or how to get app downloads, or how to create an app, and those are the kind of words that would want. Now, mine don't say app, that's not good. But it definitely is a powerful word that we have. But blogging isn't this big hairy beast that people think.
Okay.
It's just a matter of sitting down, writing in your own voice. You can get ghostwriters. Oh my gosh, you can go out to Fiverr and you can easily hire somebody to crank out a bunch of blogs for you, and then you just schedule them out. You can schedule 4 blogs to go out 1 a week in the beginning of the month on any website. So you don't have to have them, immediately. But it's really important to write in your style. Now, when you are writing, though, make sure you use a plugin like a Grammarly or a spell checker or something, because inevitably, if you make an error in your blog, somebody is going to point it out.
Yes, for sure.
Your. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 222. Yeah. And so make sure that you use a Grammarly so you get the commas in the right spot, you get the spelling check correct, you get all of that. I think Grammarly also even kind of helps you discern if it's well written. Not saying it's the best, but they give you grammar suggestions. So if you miss an I or a 2 or as it flows through, it kind of questions that you just decide if it's your voice, if that's what you want to do or not. Right. But it definitely is important to have that. I have had that more times than not. And those are the people that will comment on the blog, if you allow commenting on your blog. Some people don't allow commenting on their blog. But
what would you recommend?
It depends upon what you're trying to do. Now, I have found that in the beginning, when we're not getting that much traffic to the blogs, what happens is you get a lot of spam. People who are surfing for new blogs, and they start, they make a comment, oh, this is so good. And then they put their website on there. They're just looking for places to put their website all over. I make mine so that I have to approve everyone.
Okay.
So nothing gets posted automatically. And then I just delete that, and you're going to get hit right away. I mean, it happens when you start blogging. Once it's been seasoned there for a while, that stuff backs off. You still get them every now and then. I do take the time to read every comment, and then I respond to the comments that are important, the ones that are valid, the ones that, have asked a legitimate question. But you can tell, you can clearly tell when it's not somebody who's commenting properly. And so that's one area that I like to do. Now, the blog itself, though, can be extremely, extremely powerful. Not just having it on your site, but it's where else you put it. If you are on LinkedIn, you can post that same blog, maybe tweak it a little so the words aren't identical to as an article, and be blogging on LinkedIn. You also can have it on Google My Business. You can post it there as an article. So these are all places you can repurpose it through social media. I use a tool called Missing Letter. And once I post a blog, then it populates that blog out into my social media for a year.
Oh, wow.
And so it's my words. It's written by me.
Right.
Missing Letter posts it out there for me with different images, different little blurbs, etc. And it's driving traffic back to my site.
Okay.
And I get a weekly report telling me how that's going and what's going on with my campaigns. So it like recycles it around. The other thing you can do with a blog is you can create a video with it. I use another tool called InVideo, and you can take the blog, upload it in there. You have to do some massaging with it, but then you can end up having turning that into a video and posting that. So it's your whole blog on a video.
Okay.
And, because everybody learns differently, and you can use those all on your site. Video is attractive. You can start sharing the heck out of that and sending people back to your site. That's what social is all about, sending it back to your site. So blogging is important in that respect.
Yeah, I seriously need to do some blogs. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's another way to populate your blog a lot faster.
Okay.
Get guest blogs. Ask people to blog on your site. So they create a blog, they send it to you. You know, you give them credit. I have a couple of guest bloggers on my site,
Guest
and
blogger.
then the guest bloggers share the blog. And so now you're meeting their audience as well. Be careful who you guest blog with, though, okay?
Mhm.
There are a lot of people who are sending out emails to people asking to be a guest blogger. You have to really find out if they do align. I mean, if they don't have much of a following, you know, you go to Facebook and you see that they've got 10 followers, or you go to their website about blogging, and you find out that they just don't have a lot of traffic, or they don't rank very high, etc. Well, then they may not be for you, because they're just trying to build their business, not necessarily help you build yours.
Gotcha.
The idea of having a guest blogger is that they have an audience that's going to be able to be dragged back to your site. And you want to be able to have them share it out to their audience. So you think of a blog like a podcast. You want to be in front of the right audience.
Mhm.
So, and then you expect the podcast host to help you market you, as you are now going to help them market their podcast. It's a two-way street. You know, you'll be marketing that as well. So having a guest blogger is really an easy way to help populate. Now, you don't want it all to be guest bloggers, and you can also switch those around if you want, where you make the blog like you interviewed them. They still write it, but then you kind of change the format, and you tell them this up front. You have to be transparent.
Okay.
You have to be transparent with the people. And you have to say, can you throw this blog together, and then I'm going to change it as if I interviewed you. They don't care. They're still being showcased.
Right.
But you don't want them to be fooled that, hey, I gave you a blog and you didn't post it the way that we asked,
Right.
we talked about it. But
Yeah.
that way it still sounds like it's your content, even though it's coming from a third party. You're now getting third party validation. So on the flip side, be a guest blogger. Get out to places that have your audience
Okay.
after you've established yourself. And a lot of times it's reciprocated. I'll let you be a guest blogger on my blog as long as I can be a guest blogger on yours.
Okay.
And so it's a two-way street. And there's no charging for this. Don't be paying people to be a blogger, because you don't need to. And don't ask to be paid to be a blogger, because you don't need to. The idea is to do this for reciprocation. That's what's really important about it. And so I would definitely reach out to places that are your audience, or people who you want to collaborate with,
Mhm.
and offer that. Would you like to be a guest blogger? And can I be a guest blogger? Now, you can't be a guest blogger, though, until your blog is got some meat to it, because they're going to go back and take a look and see, well, what kind of stuff do you write about?
Right.
And definitely, whenever you're writing for a blog, stay out of the politics. Stay neutral.
Mhm.
You want every and anybody to be welcome to download your app if your app is appropriate for them. You don't want to alienate, because I don't care what you do. If it's a political statement, you are going to upset half of the people.
Mhm.
It's just that simple. So you definitely want to stay away from that. You want to make it business. Personally, I like making them fun,
Mhm.
because when they're dry and boring, I can't read it. I write like I want to read. That's what I look at. The other construction on this is to make the image fun. You want to make that image attractive, because that's what people are going to read the most. They're going to see the image and say, oh, that sounds really good, and then go from there. If you can use non-stock photos, if you can use some of your own photos to create the images, and you can use Canva, very easy to create a blog image.
Mhm.
And then always, always, always on every image that you do, make sure your logo is there.
Okay.
It's critical that you brand it. So by using your own photos or friends' photos, I do that a lot with my friends. When I see that they've been on vacation somewhere and I really like their photos, I ask them if I can have it. And
Good idea.
friends don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, oh my gosh, I've got a whole section on Greece, some beautiful landscapes and stuff from Greece. From my son actually went to Greece. I'm like, give your mother wants your vacation photos. I've got another friend who travels Europe and she does a lot. She's a foodie.
Mhm.
So she does a lot of food and then landscaping and
Right.
whatnot. I'm very particular though that I make sure on those photos I don't have their image, their pictures of them.
Right. Mhm.
If it is crowds, I try to make sure it's not too noticeable who these people are.
Mhm.
You know, I really respect that. But if you don't have your own, do it that way. Plus, you know what? These portable devices that we have, they're called phones. They have great cameras, and you know, you can just go to town shooting away. No question about it. So try to get creative with your own photos on the images instead of stock photos, because it's just stock photos actually go lower in the SEO rankings because it's the same photo everybody else is using.
Mhm.
Who wants to come see that? You know,
Yeah.
but you show a nice image of a cruise ship standing off of the coast in the Greek islands,
Mhm.
you know, people want to see that.
Right.
And then you can add your own words to it and, you know, whatever the
Yeah.
title is or however you want to do it. The Canva is an amazing tool that doesn't take much
Mhm.
to create. So you want to make sure that when you blog that you have a good image, you have content that's relative, and you have a call to action. And you want to also make sure that you have good SEO in there. So creating blogs it's an art. There's definitely an art to creating a blog,
Mhm.
but you have to make sure that it's in your own words. And then, like I say, share it all over and become a guest blogger. Now, another way to get attracted to being a guest blogger is
Yeah.
to finding a couple of sites that you like that correlate and comment on their blogs. And make it a real comment. Don't just, hey, nice blog, great, thanks for sharing the info. Make it like you've really read it because you should be reading it.
Correct.
And make a true comment that is engaging. That is how that author is going to get to know who you are, because I guarantee you they're going to check you out to make sure you're not spamming.
Right.
So you find one, say in your case, it's in the, you want to make it in the real estate area, how to find, you know, real estate for kids. So you go find a blogger who does some great real estate and you comment and you make a real comment about how, you know, what they're doing. And you'll put your website on there so they can check you out, but they'll check you out and they'll say, oh, wow, that's okay. I see what's going on. And you want to make those comments and then repurpose your blog. Repurpose it over to Google My Business, or I think it's Google My Business now is what they call it. You want to repurpose it over to LinkedIn if you're on a LinkedIn and you want to populate over there. You can also put it out on different places like Medium and some other blogging places that are free, and you use it. Use it. Blogging is huge for getting downloads because it keeps your audience connected.
Right.
It keeps your audience saying, wow, they're always bringing fresh content and they're giving me what I want. I want to have them on my phone. And then attach if you can, if your app warrants it, attach the blog to your app. It is nothing more than just an RSS feed. And people will be able to pull up your blog and see it without any problem.